तो आज हम एक ऐसे स्टॉक के बारे में बात करने वाले हैं जो कि एक काफ़ी ही अच्छा वैल्यू बाय रहेगा आपके लिए। ये एक B2B स्पेस में ट्रेड करने वाला स्टॉक है, काफ़ी अलग टाइप का स्टॉक है एंड गिवन दैट 5 to 10 years इट कैन कंटिन्यूसली गिव अस रिटर्न्स विदाउट वेस्टिंग एनी टाइम। माय नेम इज संवेद ठाकर एंड यू आर वाचिंग चैट विद संवेद। तो ये थोड़ा लंबा वीडियो होने वाला है बट प्लीज़ मेक श्योर यू वॉच इट टिल द वेरी एंड बिकॉज जो चीज़ें मैं बताने वाला हूँ वो एक वैल्यू इन्वेस्टमेंट के पर्सपेक्टिव से बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है एंड यू विल एक्चुअली अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टू एनालाइज अ स्टॉक, राइट। तो टुडे जैसे हम आज B2B स्पेस में बात करने वाले हैं, तो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट B2B स्पेस इज़। B2B इज़ वेरी सिंपली बिजनेस टू बिजनेस, राइट। इसमें क्या होता है कि जैसे लेट्स अज्यूम आप एक शॉपकीपर हैं या मैं एक शॉपकीपर हूँ, ठीक है। वी वांट टू बाय समथिंग, ठीक है, मतलब हमें कुछ बेचना है तो पहले हमें ख़रीदना पड़ेगा। जब हमारे पास इन्वेंटरी होगी तभी हम किसी को बेच पाएंगे, राइट। आपको दुकान डालनी है, आपको सामान खरीदना है, राइट। तो दैट इज़, तो यू नीड टू बाय इट फ्रॉम समवन, ठीक है। अब लेट्स अज्यूम कोई एक एक्स कंपनी है जो ये सब बेचती है, तो दैट कंपनी डील्स इनटू B2B बिजनेस। कैसे कि वो बिजनेस टू बिजनेस बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। Okay, so this is the understanding of what B2B business is. Now let's quickly understand ki why we have chosen this particular industry and really is this industry gonna grow? Like, is this as an industry gonna grow or not, right? Because that will define a lot of things like coming in the future ki how this stock as an individual is gonna grow, right? So if you can, if you're looking at my screen right now, you see India's B2B business to grow 10.3% in 2022, says American Express. Now American Express is a very varied resource, I don't need to tell you that, right, already. And this is a very new recent article on January 20th 2022, right. So if you see over here, it tells that India's B2B business is expected to rise by 10.3% in 2022 alone, right. अब 10.3% यहाँ से बढ़ रहा है. And if you further read this article, right, India business saw spending grow 3 times faster than the expectation from its comparable peers in other countries, right. तो इंडिया का जो rate of expenditure है from business perspective is 3 times what its competitor has, right. And if you see the report said bullishness and great confidence will lead to 74% of business spending more on technology and 72% planning to make more capital investment. मतलब जो आउट ऑफ 100 कंपनी 74 कंपनीज जो रहेंगी लाइक बिजनेस स्पेस में, वो टेक्नोलॉजी पे ज़्यादा स्पेंड करना चाह रही हैं और उनमें से 72% जो है वो ज़्यादा कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट, मतलब उन 100 में से 72 कंपनीज आर गोना मेक मोर कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट, दैट इज़ मोर मनी दे पोर इनटू देयर बिजनेस, राइट। तो ये सब चीज़ें हैं एंड मेन बेनिफिट क्या होता है B2B बिजनेस का, लाइक बेसिकली क्या है कि आजकल सब चीज़ कैशलेस हो रही है, राइट। यू डोंट नीड टू पे कैश, एवरीथिंग इज गेटिंग ऑनलाइन, सब चीज़ हो जा रही है। तो दिस मेक्स द प्रोसेस ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शन वेरी इजी, राइट। तो दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द मोर feasibility ratios that are happening in India that are making these things more feasible, right, which has already happened in US by the way, ठीक है। उन लोग they have this done maybe 5 years 10 years ago and hence like they are at that position, right, and we are in the phase of growing that particular thing. So this is about the B2B space, right. So now let's talk about the stock that we're going to discuss today, that is IndiaMart. So now whoever like wants to drop off the video and were here just for stock name, you guys can drop off, but I would really like you to see the complete video to understand how value buying opportunities we actually scan through in the complete stock market, right. So let's just go and see the website of IndiaMart itself, what it does. So if you can see over here is it is selling all kinds of things, right, electronic and electricals, industry suppliers, industry machinery, food, agriculture, drug and pharma, health diagnostic, all these things, like whatever you want to buy or you want to sell, you can come on to this platform, ठीक है। अगर आप देखोगे आपको फेस मास्क खरीदना है, ठीक है, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट डिस्पोजेबल फेस मास्क मुझे लेना है, ठीक है। तो अगर आप इसको देखोगे तो यू कैन बाय इट एट ₹1. ऑब्वियसली देयर विल बी some minimum number of items associated with it, like you'll have a minimum quantity to buy, obviously, right, and then you'll get a very cheap price. Now at the same time you're buying it for 1 and you can sell it for, let's say, 5 rupees or 10 rupees, right. So you're making that 9 rupee margin per mask, right. So this is also anyone who wants to basically start this particular business, right, they can just buy it from here and sell it. Similarly, let's say you are a manufacturer of masks, you can register yourself as a seller over here, right, and then basically sell it on this platform and someone else can buy. So what it is doing is basically it is a marketplace for buyers and sellers, where sellers just put up there whatever they are selling and buyers can buy it in large quantities. So this is how the B2B business basically works for them, right? And again, this is not a sponsored video. IndiaMart has not paid me anything. We're just reviewing this particular thing because they are the industry leaders, right? So okay, now talking a little about what IndiaMart is, how are the prices and all those things. If you see over here, right, it's trading at 6,000. Looks like a pricey thing, but if you see in past month, it has gone down approximately 8%. If you see in an year from now, where every stock has boosted by 40%, 50%, this has actually come down by 22% after hitting all-time highs, right? We'll discuss about it. Why is that? All these things we'll discuss in the video one by one. Just wanted to give you a little heads up on this, right? Now if you look at it, it is again a mid-cap stock, right, with 19,000 crores valuation. So let's just understand this a little more, right, little more as to how what this stock is doing, right? Like we know okay, B2B space mein hai, but why have we chosen this stock? Why not any other stock that might be dealing with B2B space, right? Okay, so if you quickly read over here, like read any paragraph, like all you'll see is why we are talking about this stock, right? So starting with this, it has a pan-India presence. Wherever you're sitting, you can just be a buyer, be a seller in this particular platform, right? And if you look at this, metro cities mein their presence is 33%, tier 2 mein 26, and rest of India 41. Okay, we'll talk about all these ratios basically in detail, like as to what these are. But if you see, like, it's very well diversified company, right? It's largest in the industry. Again, the company commands nearly 60% of the market share of the online B2B classified space, and hence why the reason we are talking about this, right? ये 60% मार्केट शेयर ओन करता है दिस पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री में, B2B स्पेस में, ठीक है? उसके बाद इफ़ यू सी ओवर हियर, वेल डाइवर्सिफाइड मार्केट प्लेस, कस्टमर प्रोफाइल, इनकम सोर्स, ऑल दीज थिंग्स यू कैन रीड अबाउट इट. आई एम नॉट गोना go in the details because I want you guys to research this a little bit as well. But let's jump to some really interesting facts about it, and then we'll come up to the ratios and all those things, right? So product wise, again, most of the revenue comes from the income from web services. Again, what I showed you, there's a platform, right? You register onto it, they charge a commission, and then they get something, and then you can buy and sell things up. And 1.5% is from advertising and marketing services, which can grow, by the way. This is just a small part, but this can grow, right? Location wise, they are currently dealing in India right now, and 1.4% that's negligible, right? The distribution channel we were talking about, right? The buyers and the sellers. So most of the buyers, if you see, they're very well diversified. Tier 2 cities में भी हैं, metro cities में भी हैं, and other overall tier 1 cities, villages, हर जगह है. तो basically, even if some big let's say competitor enters into a particular metro city, that is not really gonna affect this company because they're very well diversified. Talking about the sellers, on the other hand, is mostly in the metro cities, which is justified because you don't see a factory in a village, of course, right? So most of the sellers, the manufacturers, basically come from metro cities, and then are distributed in like 27% in the tier 2 cities, and then others as well. So yes, this is one. Now let's get into some really interesting numbers, right? So number of users visiting the marketplace is right now 284 million. दिस इज़ नॉट अ स्मॉल नंबर, राइट, गिवन दैट इट इज़ नॉट B2C. आपको ये समझना है कि ये फेसबुक की तरह नहीं है, ये अमेज़ॉन की तरह नहीं है, ये फ्लिपकार्ट की तरह नहीं है. इट इज़ नॉट सेलिंग B2C. आप और मैं यहाँ पे जा नहीं रहे हैं, राइट? हम एक आइटम ऑर्डर करने नहीं जा रहे हैं. दिस बायर्स एंड सेलर्स, एंड जस्ट लाइक two shopkeepers interacting, basically a manufacturer and a shopkeeper, and still they are able to make 284 million user base, right? So yes, this is amazing, and it's of according to like September 21. So we can guesstimate, right, that this number is gonna grow and grow as the businesses in India grow, right? Talking about the average revenue per user, it is 40,400. So you can see, right, like हमारे पास 284 million users हैं, and on an average like 50,000 is what an individual user is spending. That is an average of that, ठीक है? Then there are some other things like 150,000 इनके पास जो सब्सक्रिप्शन बेस्ड कस्टमर्स हैं, एंड देन रजिस्टर्ड बायर्स जो हैं, जो बाय कर रहे हैं इस प्लेटफॉर्म में, वो 138 million है. तो इसी सब्सट्रैक्ट यू विल गेट द number of registered sellers on that, right? So this was a really interesting number, a very well diversified company with a very good customer base, right? Okay, cool. So now let's just understand this company on the paper a little more, right? सो अगेन मार्केट कैप ऑफ 18K, राइट, 18 करोड़, तो मिड कैप कंपनी है. सो दिस इज नॉट अ बाइंग रिकमेंडेशन और सेलिंग रिकमेंडेशन, राइट. दिस इज प्योरली फॉर एजुकेशनल पर्पज एंड आई वांटेड टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टू basically value a company, right. Stock P is 60. You can say it is high, but look at the way it is, right. If you're an industry leader, right, with a 60% market share in a country like India, this is a very well justified stock P according to me. Further backing up this number is the ROC, right. Return on capital employed is 39.5%. Now I've already explained, like I'll just quickly walk you through. Return on capital employed is basically if the company is putting 100 rupees in the company, they're getting by 39.5 out of it, right. So this is a very 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 good percentage, right. Return on equity is high at approximately 30%. Debt आप देखेंगे तो सिर्फ 60 crores की है, like debt 60 crores is nothing. Why this is nothing, we'll talk about in the later section and you'll know. ठीक है, book value is 572 and is trading at a like almost 10.5 times its book value, which is justified. Why, again we'll discuss in the further sections regarding at its revenues and everything. ठीक है, तो यहाँ तक तो मुझे सब अच्छा लग रहा है. प्रमोटर होल्डिंग गुड, ऑलमोस्ट 50% प्रमोटर होल्डिंग है, कोई प्लेजिंग नहीं है, मतलब प्लेज करते हैं यूजुअली प्रमोटर्स प्लेज देयर होल्डिंग्स, राइट, एंड दैट इज नॉट कंसिडर्ड अ गुड थिंग, बट 0% तो नथिंग टू वरी अबाउट. अगेन अ ग्रेट साइन, अ वेरी गुड अर्निंग्स पर शेयर, सो टू से, right. Looking at the price, it has tanked a lot. We'll discuss this again in the technicals, why it is tanked and all those things. Let's see the PE ratios, right. This is always interesting, whether the company is possible to have a PE expansion or not. If you see, at a time it was trading at 102 PE, right, and that is an insane PE. Now it is trading at 60. It has fallen down drastically. So yeah, there's a possible for PE expansion here, right. So that's again a good thing. Awesome. So now what we do is we'll just quickly cover up the numbers, the financial numbers, and this will clarify a lot of things basically, right. The sales have gone from 31 crores to 665 crores. That's almost 20 times, like within the span of 10 years, 20 times in 10 years. That's an insane number. If you look at the trailing 12 months, that is 715 crores, again probably beating the previous year's list, right, already at all-time high. Awesome. So looking at the operating profit margin, it was initially making losses, right, as you can see, and then now it is trading at almost 50% profit margins, again an insane thing, and we'll discuss why the profit margins are so high, operating profit margin is so high, right. Looking at the net profit, this company was a loss making company initially, and now you can see it is making 287 crores of profit. Not to mention in the trailing 12 months it has 312 crores profit. That means it is already like at its best right now, right. Okay, so let's quickly talk about why the operating profit margins are so high, right. So usually what happens is, this is a B2B online platform, right. If you see, they don't have to hold any inventory. All they are doing is building a marketplace, right, for the buyer seller ecosystem. ठीक है, मैं बायर हूँ, आप सेलर हो, तो इसमें अगर कोई एक्स कंपनी जो मार्केट प्लेस बना रही है, उसको कुछ इन्वेंट्री रखना नहीं है. लाइक आई डोंट हैव टू बाय बिग फैक्ट्रीज और बिग वेयर हाउसेज टू स्टोर एनी ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट. मैं बोलूँगा आपको बेचना है, आप अपना ध्यान रखो, मैं लॉजिस्टिक्स में भले हेल्प कर दूंगा आपकी. ठीक है, तो मुझे कुछ होल्ड नहीं करना है. ऑल आई टू डू इज़ मेंटेन अ वेबसाइट, ठीक है, जहाँ पे बायर्स अपना प्राइस बताएंगे, सेलर्स अपनी प्राइस बताएंगे, और जो ट्रांजेक्शन होगा, एंड आई विल टेक सम परसेंटेज ऑफ इट. सो दैट इज़ एक्चुअली एन अमेजिंग थिंग. आपको बेसिकली एक वेबसाइट अप एंड रनिंग रखनी है, लॉजिस्टिक्स पे ध्यान देना. यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अ सिंगल बिट अबाउट द इन्वेंट्री, विच एक्चुअली सेव्स अप अ लॉट ऑफ मनी, एंड हेंस इट हैज़ सो हाई प्रॉफिट मार्जिन्स. ठीक है, हमने समझ लिया कि प्रॉफिट मार्जिन हाई. इफ़ यू लुक एट द बोरोइंग्स, इट हैज़ बीन जीरो, एंड राइट नाउ इट हैज़ like in 2020, March 2020, which was very obvious. क्यों? क्योंकि कोविड का समय था, तो there were some loans and that was 77, and now they're paying it back, almost 60 crores पे हैं. And if you see, the profit is like 300 crores. They can actually pay the debt anytime they want. So again, that's not a worrisome sign to me either, right. Looking at the promoter holding, थोड़ी सी decrease हुई है promoter holding, but that is again not an issue, and we'll talk about it over here. Like, let me just go to the holding section once. Okay. सो इफ़ यू सी ओवर हियर, टोटल प्रमोटर्स होल्डिंग थोड़ी सी कम हुई है, एकदम नेग्लिजिबल. क्यों हुई है? क्योंकि उन्होंने बेसिकली शेयर्स अपने डाइल्यूट किए हैं, बेचे नहीं हैं, डाइल्यूट किए हैं. क्यों किए हैं? बिकॉज इफ़ यू लुक एट द FIIs, दे हैव drastically increased. Okay, let me show it over here. This is just for past 5-6 months. If you see over here, the FIIs have increased from 10% to 26%. ठीक है, 10 से 26% इनका जो रेशियो है वो ग्रो हो गया है. तो कहाँ से आएंगे शेयर? लाइक किसी को तो डाइल्यूट करना पड़ेगा ना, तो दैट इज़ द रीज़न. DIIs भी ऑलमोस्ट कॉन्सेंट है, 3.6 से 5% पे हैं, ऑलमोस्ट कॉन्सेंट है. पब्लिक का कम हुआ है, ऑब्वियसली कम होगा क्योंकि हर तरफ नहीं बढ़ सकता. तो एंड दिस इज एक्चुअली अ गुड थिंग. ठीक है, पब्लिक का कम होता है तो क्या होता है कि व्हेन पब्लिक होल्ड्स, बेसिकली हम रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, राइट, ऐसे. तो व्हेन दिस परसेंटेज बिकम्स लोअर व्हाट हैपन्स इज ऑपरेटर्स कांट मॉड्यूलेट द प्राइस वेरी मच. तो क्या होता है, जो बिग प्लेयर्स होते हैं ना, इफ़ दे स्टार्ट सेलिंग लार्ज नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स, ठीक है, तो बेसिकली दे कैन कंट्रोल द प्राइसेस, ज़्यादा गिरा और बढ़ा सकते हैं जब पब्लिक के बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा होता है. ठीक है, लाइक बहुत ज़्यादा परसेंटेज होता है. ठीक है, तो इफ़ यू लुक एट द पब्लिक होल्डिंग्स यू कैन सी अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल ओवर हियर, राइट. नाउ लेट्स अज्यूम एनी वन ऑफ देम स्टार्ट सेलिंग, दे ओन लाइक 3%, 1%, 1.2%, दिस अमाउंट ऑफ शेयर्स. हम तो लाइक 0.0001% कहीं ओन करते होंगे, हमारे बेचने या खरीदने से उतना फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. बट जस्ट इमेजिन इफ एनी ऑफ दीज पीपल हु ओन 3% और 1 or 2% ऑफ दिस शेयर, if they start selling or buying, the prices will go up and down like anything, right? So that's why the lower the public has, the better it is, like the less risky it is for the operators to basically operate any stock. That was one thing. Okay, so we wanted to discuss, right, why has the stock tanked a lot, right? So if you see over here, FII since March have owned 27% or 28% of this particular stock, right? 27-28% वो stock own करें, and we are all of us are hearing basically, right, कि जो फेड्स ने इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ा दिए हैं. तो बेसिकली क्या हुआ है कि एक बॉन्ड मार्केट है, बॉन्ड मार्केट का इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ गया है, तो जो पैसा है वो स्टॉक मार्केट से फ्लो के बॉन्ड मार्केट में जा रहा है. तो फ्लो होके जा रहा है का मतलब क्या हुआ कि बेसिकली लोग स्टॉक्स बेच रहे हैं और बॉन्ड्स खरीद रहे हैं. तो अगर आप, अब हमारे पास दो चीज़ें, एक स्टॉक से एक बॉन्ड से, अगर बंदा स्टॉक से पैसा निकालेगा बॉन्ड्स में लगाएगा तो बेसिकली ही सेल शेयर्स ओवर हियर. जब शेयर सेल होंगे तो प्राइस गिरने लगती है on majority. ठीक है, तो that's why prices are tanking because FIIs are selling this particular stock a lot, so hence the prices are tanking, right? There's literally nothing wrong with the numbers. If you see over here, sales are good, profits are good, trading at all time high sales, all time high profit, all time high operating margin. ठीक है, सब चीज़, everything looks super nice, right? So those are the reason why it is tanking. If you have enjoyed the analysis and whatever I have discussed so far, please make sure to hit the like button, right, and subscribe to channel if you have not already done that. Let's move ahead in the video. With that being said, we can do a peer comparison, but actually there are no peers, right? If you see these are not peers, actually they are though listed over, these are not peers. So B2B space में जो the only competitor, this very strong competitor I believe is Alibaba, right? Alibaba जो है वो B2B space में it's like Google, right? वो basically it's everywhere, and B2B is one of the strongest part of Alibaba. But then again, India having a conflict over China and all these things, ये सबसे बहुत benefit हो रहा है IndiaMart को, because now people are abandoning Chinese products and like basically anything coming from China, right? So Alibaba is being useless, and hence IndiaMart is getting a lot of attraction, and hence will continue to add up customers. So that is a very plus point for us. Awesome. So that being said, now what we have left is to discuss technicals. But before discussing technicals, let's jump into the intrinsic value. I have already discussed the intrinsic value with in the previous video. I'll link down. I'll leave the link in the description below, right? And also put a card. But that being said, if you look at it, right, what I calculated the intrinsic value as was 6190, right? And obviously if you take 50% of margin, it will come to 3000, but this particular stock will never come to 3000, right? At least, like, I don't think so it's gonna go back to 3000, right? Because the way it has been performing, and like when you're netting the highest ever profit, when you're netting the highest ever sales, it's impossible for that particular stock to go down to that value, right? But here's a catch, right? What I have taken as a growth rate is 20, right? Now this 20 is basically a little lower number, like what is expected. Why? We'll talk about it. If you see over here, company has delivered a good profit growth of 52% CAGR over last 5 years. Like every year it is increasing its profit by 50%, right? That's not a small thing. So even if this number goes down, this will come to like 30-25, right? And that's just it has constantly given for 5 years, right? That's not a joke. So So what happens over here is I have taken a very minimum number, like if you like we come up to a number of 30, the stock immediately is priced at 9,000, like after 50% margin of safety. So a lot of things changes, but again, since we don't know, we like to take be on the lower end of it. Even if you take 20 and for 10 years, like we are saying every year it is giving 15% return to us for 10 years, and hence the number intrinsic value should be 6190. Even if you're investing for 5 years, I think this is actually a very good like buy right now. According to my perspective, we can look at the numbers, right, as to what these things are gonna be. Awesome. So like looking at the intrinsic value, it's trading approximately at its intrinsic value. So this can be a really good value buying opportunity for us right now, right? 6190, not a big number, like almost where it is trading right now. So let's talk about the buying levels and a little bit about the technicals, right? So if you see, it's forming one of those patterns that I love: 200-day moving average, 50-day moving average, 20-day moving average, and then finally the price. So the yellow line is 200-day ma, the blue line is 50-day ma, and red line is 20-day ma. Okay, so this is like trading below this. So again, when you are actually having the highest ever net profits, when you're actually having the highest ever sales, this is bound to go up no matter what, right? So this has fallen quite a lot. If you see over here, it is trying to make is basically tanked a little down, but that's completely fine, right? So talking about the support levels, right, if you see over here, this is already broken. It's one of its support levels. So let me just draw lines for a better understanding. Okay, so if you see this, sorry, yeah, this was a support level at around 700 that has been already been broken. Right now this was a small support level. This again has been broken. So now the next support level basically comes somewhere, the good support levels come somewhere around this, like 4823. So this particular stock can definitely tank and go up until 4823, which I don't think it will, but again, it can go, right, because there's no good support in between. So that is the scenario. And so what am I doing in this, and what should we do, like as in retail investors? Okay, so I can't answer for you, obviously. I can say for myself, I'm already an investor in this stock. I'll put up the screenshots, right, and I'm gonna invest more as it goes down, because I see nothing wrong with the company, literally nothing wrong with the company, right? And when a stock has tanked this much, you should definitely go for it. Okay, looking at the money flow index, I've already explained in my previous video what money flow index is. Again, just to revise it all, it's basically tracking the price action with volume, right? Strength, price action, and volume together, and then seeing. So again, it's trading at 41, and after falling, so it can easily go up to 80, and all those things can happen. No one can tell when it will happen, but that will happen, right? So again, I see a good time to buy this particular stock. So everything that is pointing is towards like this can be a really good buy, looking even in the 5 years down the line, right? So yeah, that was all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. You learned a lot. You can use this particular thing to analyze any stock that you might be going through. I would love to know which part you loved, or where can I improve, or what else do you want me to talk about during discussion of a stock or anything else. Write in the comment section below. Feel free. Till then, take care, stay safe, wear a mask, and see you in the next video.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the